politeness. All right. Hello, teacher. We are going to make this interview right now. And I'm going to interview my friend Rosana. I met her in high school. So, hi, Rosana.
Hi,
Can I make you some questions?
of course. Let's
Great.
begin.
When and where were you born?
I was born March 3rd, 2002, in the old Hospital Ovaldia in Chiriquí.
Great. Interesting. And how old are you right now?
I'm 18 and I'm turning 19 next year.
Great. And what are your parents' names?
My father's name is Alain Rafael Rios, and my mother's name is Yvette del Carmen Espinosa.
Okay. And what do your parents do for living? For living.
My mom is the owner of a workshop, car workshop, and my father owns a paint shop store for cars, and that is where I work. I work with my father.
Oh, that's great. Family, you're beginning in the family work,
Yes,
in the family environment.
I've
Work environment.
been working with him for almost a year. I turned a year working with him in December. I started working right after I graduated high school.
Okay. Yes. That's very good. And what is your favorite food?
I love to eat pasta, like any kind of pasta. I love carbs.
Oh. And what's your favorite hobby?
Sorry.
Don't worry.
I used to hike a lot, but now I don't have free time for hiking. But that's something that I would like to get back to, hiking, exploring new places.
Oh. And what is your favorite sport?
My favorite sport is swimming, and I guess that's the only thing that I know how to do and I feel like I'm good at, so swimming.
Okay. And what's your favorite movie?
My favorite movie is a movie called Wonder. It's about a kid that was born with a deformation, not a disability, but he was misunderstood by people because he looked different. And it's a really good one. It's based off a book that I read when I was, I believe, 13 years old. Sorry.
And it's
I,
don't
sorry.
worry. And it is still your favorite movie. So that
Yes, I cry every time I watch it, and I've watched it a lot of times, and I've read the book a couple of times too, and it's still like moving to me. That movie is it's really good. It's beautiful.
I'm gonna write down that name. Believe me, I'm gonna watch it.
You should watch it.
And the last question for you, Rosanna. What places have you traveled to?
I've traveled several times, but to the same places. My father's family is from Cuba, so I travel to Cuba uh, every couple years to visit all my family there. But because my father and his brother, my uncle, are the only ones that left Cuba. So my grandparents are still there, and I have a couple cousins there. So I go every once in a while to visit them. The first time I traveled, I was, I believe, 4, and I went with my father, but I don't remember a single thing. Sorry for the 5th time. And I've gone to Cuba. I went for my 15th birthday with my father to visit some family that I have in Miami. And I went to Costa Rica for like a day and a half or 2 days to accompany my father to something that he had work wise. And then I went to Nicaragua for a week because my godfather used to live there and he had a tourism company. So I was like traveling and getting to know Nicaragua. It was really beautiful, but I haven't traveled for, I believe, 3 years. And with all the pandemic, I don't think that I'll be traveling anytime soon. And I guess that's it.
Don't worry, you're sick. It's okay. You've traveled a lot. I'm impressed. And at your age, that's
Family.
really great. And with your father, that
It's
that's that's good. He has been walking with you through his work and teaching you. So I imagine you will be the next owner.
I hope so. Like I'm trying my best to do good and to learn because I'm young and I'm not studying something that it's related to what I do at work, but I'm trying to learn stuff like by experience, I guess, to see if like it gets bigger and then I can be the owner of the company or at least the owner of the one store that we have in Chiriquí. Because there's another one in Panama City, but the idea is that I get this one and then my father moves to Panama City to take care of the other one that is a new one.
You see, you're in the plans.
This one is established and the other one is like beginning. It's a year or so
During the
that
pandemic, you're still working. That's amazing. That you got the capacity to maintain, the store from this time. I know it's hard, right?
it is hard and it's stressing because it's a lot of responsibility and I've never had that kind of responsibility because as I told you before and you know because you were with me, we just graduated high school and it's like shocking that from one day to the next one we are doing so much different stuff than what we used to do. So I believe that it's time for me to ask you the same questions. So here I go.
Yes.
So Anna, when and where were you born?
Well, I was born on July 27 in the same hospital that you was born. Hospital José Domingo Valdía. In Chiriquí.
So how old are you?
I'm 18 years old.
And what are your parents' names?
My mother's name is Adela Castillo, Adela Castillo Mendez, and her complete name, sorry, and my father's name is Tomás Alcides Morales Miranda.
And do you have any brothers or sisters?
No, I don't. I'm a single
Why? You
Yeah.
are an only child. I was an only child for a lot of time, but when I was 12, I got a brother and then I got another one. So now I have two little brothers that I kind of my sons. I'm their mother. And what do your parents do for a living?
Well, my mom has a boutique. It's here in David Trujillo, Plaza Real. So you have to visit. It's called Adelita's Boutique. And my father is a lawyer and he has his own company, or maybe his own wait a minute, store, store and space. He just work by himself and with my aunties, and they are lawyers too, so we are a family of lawyers. Yeah.
Oh, and you are going that way too. I didn't know that.
Yeah,
That's cool. We are following our parents' path.
that's usually what happens, like the most of us just follow their path and that's it.
Yes. Like we grow into something and then
Yeah,
like you know about that stuff so you keep those ways.
maybe that's why we choose it, because we are all the time hearing that stuff and learning about the same things, and we may get like some related, we may get like some interest in that things, like we, I don't know, developed it in the time. So maybe that's why. Yeah.
So, what's your favorite food?
My favorite food. I really love food in general. I think I have learned to eat everything. Like when I was a kid, my father and my mother were like, "You eat what it is on the table, what we have. So if you don't want to eat, go. But I'm not going to make you anything else." And in special, I love junk food, but I also like healthy food. So I would say, just like, for saying a name, pizza or hamburgers or that stuff. But I think I can eat everything. I love food in general. That's it.
Ah, someone that likes healthy food. That's weird. I
Yeah.
don't eat healthy at all. So I can't relate with you. But I can agree on something. We all love food. Like there's not a single person on earth that can say that they don't like at least one single food that it's like something that brings you joy and happiness, I guess.
I
Food
mean,
can
I was
lift
saying
you
like
up.
Chinese food or Panamanian food or French food. I love them. I like them all, I think. I just think,
Italian food, it's so good. I love Italian food.
yeah, it is. I'm with you.
And what's your favorite hobby?
Well, um, I think my favorite. I have been in a lot of courses and during my life, like a lot. So I like playing the piano. I have practiced taekwondo and judo. Also, I was like 3 months on ballet. Yeah, I have been in a robotics course, an English course, and French course, and a singing one also, but I'm not really good at that. But I'm still working on it, alone in my bathroom, or I'm sorry, or in my bedroom. Also, what else can I say? Another thing I'd like to do in my free time, obviously, like every other child, go out with their friends and just go somewhere and have a good and deep talk with someone. That's amazing, and I enjoy that. I like watching movies. I'm not a reader person, but I want to be one because I know it's important. So I want to say read a book. I want to say that. I'm still working on that. And another hobby, I can say I love dancing and doing exercise, and I love sports. I love it doing a lot of stuff. Yeah. So
So,
that's
you
when I
said
have
that you love. What's your favorite one?
my favorite sport is swimming as you. When I was little, my father, I was like 4 years old, and my father, I was in a course, I was in a teaching class. Uh, we swim in teaching class, sorry. And since I was 4 years old,
You were
literally,
young. You
teacher,
were small.
yeah, the teacher was like, okay, you can come here. I was like, no, no, please, no. And then literally, she 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 held me. She put me inside of the pool and she pushed me like down, and I couldn't breathe. And I was like, "What's going on?" But I think she did that maybe for getting me for being stronger, have a stronger body or lungs.
Maybe it
They
was
lungs. I think
help
lungs.
you react. I was in swimming classes, but I couldn't be there like a lot of time because there was so much chlorine in the water that I got a fever every time that I went to classes. So if my classes were on Friday, then I would have fever and I will feel like awful for the weekend. And then on Monday I was okay to go to school, but then it was like a cycle.
Yeah.
Every Friday for I believe like 2 months that I went to swimming classes, so I left it. But I liked going there. Like it's different because that pool, it's the one going to the airport. I don't remember the name.
Yeah.
The one, it's so big.
Olímpica.
Uh-huh, La Olímpica. It's
Olímpica.
so big, and I was so small, and like you have to make
I
rounds,
I
and so different from pools that are like in hotels that I are the ones that I go to. They are small, so you can't do laps that long on regular pools. But it was like you have to do a continuous 200 meters lap. So it was like going around 4 times. So that I miss swimming. I hope that everything can get better like soon, so I can go back swimming. I don't care where, but do something. But because that's the only thing that I love to do.
and I
So,
yeah, yeah, sorry.
so what's your favorite
Uh,
movie?
well, my favorite movie. I mean, I'm so inside. I can't choose one. I'm sorry, but I can. I would say right now. Don't worry. I would say Love Rosie is my favorite movie. It is about a young girl and a young friend of her, and she gets pregnant and with another one, and her friend didn't know at the first, then he knows, and he helped her, and they fall in love, and that start. I mean, it's like the typical one, but it is not. Like I,
I
like
know what you mean. I saw it. It's fun and it's like
yeah,
romantic.
yeah. I know it's like normal, like cookie and all the stuff. It's like
I
you know.
believe it's based off a book.
I
I
think so that yeah.
think that I read the book, but I don't remember if I read the book, but I believe I did. It's a
I
good.
I'm gonna start with that. I'm gonna read that book. Gonna be.
I you can, it's, I believe that it's easier because you like the movie, so maybe it gets you motivated to read the book about the movie.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I used to read a lot when I was younger. Now I can't concentrate in a single thing for more than 10 minutes, so I don't read anymore.
I really sometimes the books that I've chose, maybe it's my fault. I'm listening like, okay, let's say 15 minutes, and then I'm sleeping. Literally, literally, it happens to me. And one, I was younger. I wasn't that smart in that topic, I think. But I tried. I saw that in a movie or maybe in a TV show. I don't remember. And the thing I did is like, there's audiobooks.
Uh-huh.
Sorry. Then I chose one, and I was tired and I went to sleep. And I thought maybe if I put my earpods and I sleep, and the record is playing, maybe I could learn something. Maybe I was hoping so, but no. I slept and slept and anything happened. I don't know anything about that book. And then when I listened to it. I listened to it later. I did it, but it didn't
It
work.
went
That's it.
not in the way that you thought that you were going to read the book. I used to pull all-nighters, like when you
Yeah.
pull an all-nighter to finish a TV show. But I used to do that to finish a book, and one time I counted with the clock the time I took to read a book. I don't remember the name, but there's a movie about that book. And I read that in a single night because I was so obsessed with that and I wanted to read the book before the movie came out. That was another person. It's not the Rosana that is talking to you anymore. I'm another one. I can't even watch a TV show without like falling asleep on or going in my phone to go see Twitter or TikTok or Instagram. Not the same person. And so, what places have you traveled to?
Well, I didn't travel as much as you. Just for saying, I I just traveled to United States twice. First, like in another country. First, to Orlando, Disney.
Went
I
to
wanted to
Orlando.
go with my aunt, so I went there. And the second one, I went to Los Angeles with my mother, and I helped her. She was doing some things about the job, and I helped her in that. It was just like that time, and she asked me if I wanted to go, so I said yes,
That's
and I helped
cool.
her. Yeah, that was the two times I've traveled. No, no, three. I went to Orlando twice when I was 12 and years old, obviously, and when I was 17, I think.
I went to Orlando, but it was boring because I went with my father, and my father is boring, so we went to all the parks, but I couldn't like have company to go to the roller coasters or anything because my father is boring. So it wasn't cool. But I've always wanted to go to Los Angeles. How is Los Angeles?
Well, I love them. It's crazy. Like when you are, in the path of the fame. I don't know if that's the name. That's
Mhm.
what I can say. It's a lot of kind of people. Like you can see people crazy, like dressing with a lot of weird stuffs, or people like so polite, and it's crazy. Like the ambience, it's just crazy. You can see people dancing on the street. all the people taking the photos. I mean, I went there, right? That just the most important places because it's that what you want to see. And the other place, I loved the the letters in the mountain, right? The Hollywood.
Uh-huh.
I
The
love it.
Hollywood.
Yeah, the Hollywood sign. Forget it. Hollywood sign. Yeah, and I really love that because there's a beautiful, like, you can see the landscape. It's a beautiful landscape right there. You can see the whole city, and
I
it's
believe
beautiful.
at
But
night,
uh-huh.
I believe at night there's like the view of the lights because that's such a big city.
Yeah, it
So
is.
you can see the lights from the sign, or you can see the lights that the sign has.
They
That's
told you like the
really
story.
cool.
Uh-huh. Sorry.
That that should be cool.
It is.
Continue.
It's
Tell me
beautiful.
your experience.
Um, they tell you when you're there. I'm sorry, I just wanted to say they tell you the story of the sign, and it's very interesting. You can look at it in in Google. Obviously, I'm sorry. It was, you can look at it, and there's a history. It was like just it wasn't going to be like for a time. I think is a story, but they kept it because it appeared on some movie and people liked it. I don't know, something like that. And they have changed the letter signs a lot of times. It's crazy what people have been doing, and they you can not go like near the letters because of that. Because someone, I think they broke a letter or something like that, and they cost a lot of money. So
I,
you can go, you
I
can't
can
stay
I can
near of them, of the letters. Like near, no. You can touch them, no. You have to be like
like far.
away, far
You can
away.
see from the distance and imagine what it will be like to be close to them.
Yeah.
I've
And
always wanted to go to LA because there's like a lot of people that like there's a lot of famous people, of course, because there's Hollywood in there and everyone lives in Los Angeles. And
and
I,
our
and,
the
and
street,
I believe that if I ever go, then I will meet someone. Like I will be walking around and then I
I'm
have
trying, they said they go and we went shopping, we didn't buy a laptop one. It's expensive. I forgot the name. There's a place where the stars and all the people go and shopping, where it's Ralph Lauren and Michael Kors and all that. How do you call that? Branks. I forgot it. Like the name of that in that famous companies brands. The brands. Yeah. And I I I was hoping, I was hoping to see
to
some.
meet someone.
I
Maybe
didn't.
next time.
Maybe if I go
Maybe
again, if when I will. I'm
there,
sorry.
there's like no faith in anyone going out of the country because
And
of the
they
pandemic.
have told me that they really met them, and they have taken pictures with them. The people that was with me, and I was like, great for you.
Not me, but I can imagine.
Exactly. And then there's a lot of palms in all the street, and oh my, it's beautiful. These houses, the streets, the people. You can go, and they have like this park. Is I forgot the name. You can go there, and I've always wanted to visit that, like, enormous, and the I forgot it. Oh my god, the what?
The wheel. Is it
Yes.
the wheel of
Yeah, the big
worship?
they have that. I went to a park, and it was awesome. And they have a lot of shopping stores in there, like a lot. All the people is well dressed with their sunglasses, and there's a lot of Chinese people there, and they are all in that famous, fancy cars. Then going to the streets, and you can see all the people with all that incredible cars. It's crazy. Like city, it's beautiful.
It's like another world.
Absolutely, yes.
LA is like the most populated area in the United States.
I wanted to say something. There's a part also, the people, they really smell like marijuana a lot in the place. All the places, yes. The people is smoking in the streets, and that black man's in the streets smoking. Yes,
It's
smoking marijuana.
incredible, like the contrast and the difference because there, smoking and CBD and THC, that's completely legal and no one has a problem with it. And you have stores, like big stores, that sell a lot of different types of the like the dried plant and then like
They are all expensive, like too expensive. Like one
tools
pin
and
is like
medicine.
$400, $500, like one pin. You're like,
And then here, that's such a huge issue. Like, there's like a huge contrast between United States and then Latin America. Um,
and
like
did you like
most of America, like there's the taboo we call it. We all do that. It's something that's so, I don't know. It causes a lot of commotion, and it doesn't cause that much commotion people there to consume that kind of stuff.
just to finish? I know I'm not asking the questions, but I'm curious. Well, what is the country that you like most and why?
Like
Visit.
the the ones that I've visited before.
Yeah.
Okay, so let me think for a second. Like I've gone to Cuba several times, but I've never like get to know the country that much because I only go to the part where my family lives.
But how is
But
it? Like,
that's kind of my hometown that isn't my hometown because I was born here. But it holds like a special place. My family's there and we have like traditions when we go to visit. And the beaches are beautiful. But like the place that I've enjoyed the most is Nicaragua. Like Nicaragua, it's like a regular place. But when you go to any place to do like real visiting, like real getting to know the country, like I was around going around in a bus, like a mini bus with my godfather, his wife, his daughter, and parents because they were visiting. And there was also a niece of him that was, she's French and she was visiting Nicaragua. And I went from Panama to visit Nicaragua. So it was a cool experience because my godfather's parents only speak Dutch because they are from Holland. They speak Dutch and they speak English. And then my godfather speaks English, Dutch, and Spanish. And the French girl that was with us only spoke French and English. But the wife of my godfather speaks a like English, but not that good of an English. So we were communicating in three languages in the same house, and we stayed in a little Airbnb in a place called Granada, and we were walking around to know the city, and there was, I think that it was like a folklore presentation around the park, and we walked like 8 blocks to see the presentation. So it's not the same when you go to a place. Only like when I go to Cuba, I only go to my grandparents' house and to my family's house, and we don't do anything else. But I went to a lake, I went to a lagoon that's in Nicaragua that has a lot of small islands where people buy the island, and islands are connected. Like the electricity goes from like here, that's one pole and one pole, but the pole and the other pole cross
Uh-huh.
the water.
Uh-huh.
So it was interesting because there's like houses, but you would think, how do they make the houses if they are in a little island on water and there's no electricity when they are making the houses? But it was cool to know that, to get to know that, and we were walking around and we went to beaches. So that's the place that I've joined the most. But it's not like it was like a cool, like, whoa, out of mind place, because no one thinks of Nicaragua like such a touristic paradise, I guess.
No, but every country has their magic, I think.
And I think that I got to know like the magic of Nicaragua, but I also got to know that the ugly part. There's a
Yeah.
lot of pollution. Like we were like going around in the bus, and you could see the gray water going like on the sides with a lot of trash. So, and when we were to the lagoon that has all the islands, we were on a little boat, and we were traveling around, and there was a lot of trash. So my godfather's daughter and I were like dipping the hand, like our hands in the water, as that like we were doing this and pulling it up, and there was a lot of trash. Like we were taking trash out of the water. It was all on the top of the water floating, like plastic water bottles, plastic bags, and we were taking a lot of trash out, and it's like sad because such a cool place. We went to a little island that had a lot of monkeys, small monkeys, like going around. No one lived there, but the monkeys lived there. But you can like think that some of the monkeys may grab stuff from the water, and that's sweet water. It's not salty water because it's not the ocean. So
Hmm.
what if they drink water from the lake, and it's all polluted and all full of water? That was like sad. And that's when you get to know like the ugly part of a place and how you can help to make it better. I was picking up trash when we were going around, picking up trash, and I think that the guy that was driving the boat was like, what do they think they are doing? Because you can do much, like two hands, two small girls with two little hands in such a big place picking around trash.
Yeah. Anything that you can do, it's helpful.
It's
And
helpful. And
yeah.
we picked up trash and then we took it, and they are like really into like uh, nature and recycling and stuff like that. So we were trying to put our help, because you have to give back. Like a place giving you something, and you should give something back to the place. Like we are
Oh, that's
enjoying it, but we should, like, I don't know, be thankful and appreciate what's been given by us. Like I was appreciating that I was taken there and I didn't have to pay. Because my godfather paid for my trip because I was visiting him. And like I tried to help
oh,
and I tried to do something. And I would like to go again. But it's sad because you want to help in another place, but you can help on your own land. Like I've tried my fair amount to recycle and pick up trash here, but we have to make conscious. Like we have to teach people that we have to take care of what we have because there it's so much worse than it is here. Like there's pollution here, but it isn't as bad as what I saw there because you can imagine any river here and you see the top of the river full of trash and just going around. Well, we have a river like that here.
yeah.
Have you seen the post? I believe there's a Marabuntas, Los Marabuntas. It's an Instagram page that is a group of people that help like collect water, that collect trash out of water, and they make like a barrier, like a plastic barrier that collects water it doesn't collect water, collects trash that it's coming from the water. That's sad, but it's cool. It's cool. I like that trip. And I like that question. I never thought of my trip like that. Like I liked it, but I never thought of the trip like the one that I liked the most. And that was the one that I liked the most. So thanks for the question. It was a good one.
All your questions were good too. You helped, and your answer was amazing. And I think that the work you are doing, it's great, and you will develop it in the future because I think it's a topic that you like, and if you like it and if you are working for it, I think you should be a person that would make this change in this world, maybe in this country or in Nicaragua if you want.
Anywhere.
Yeah. And
Anywhere. The thing
call
is
me
to
because I will
to
help
help
you.
make a Thank you.
Well, thank you again. And I think that's it. We can say goodbye now.
Bye.
Bye.